Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick video doing a unboxing and review of the reusable sponge cloths from Trader Joe's. I recently purchased this from my local Trader Joe's for I think it was like $2.99 or $3.99. Reason being that I usually use sponge cloths or reusable sponge cloths on a regular basis as far as a replacement for paper towels, and I wanted to test these out just because I knew they were local and readily available. So what we'll do is we'll just go over the packaging, take them out, and just kind of wipe some stuff down and test them out. But as far as these, they're made from cellulose and cotton. It says that Trader Joe's absorbent reusable sponge cloths are the ideal replacement for paper towels and are great for soaking up spills, cleaning any surface. Toss the reusable sponge cloth into a dishwasher or washing machine and air dry for easy cleaning. Care and use, it says rinse and wring out excess water to increase absorbency. Use with water, soap, household cleaner. After using, rinse thoroughly, wring out, leave flat to dry, and then you can wash up to 140 degrees in the dishwasher or washing machine with normal loads. Don't use chlorine bleach, air dry, and don't tumble dry. There's going to be 5 separate cloths in here. Dimensions are going to be 7.7 by 7.2 inches. And that's pretty much the gist there. Nothing else as far as the packaging. As far as personal experience with these types of cloths, they easily replace paper towels. You can use them to wipe down pretty much any surface, and as it's discussed, you can just use it with water or some sort of household cleaner. I typically throw them into the washing machine after using them. Or the laundry washing machine when I use them, and then what I do is I pull them out and don't air dry them. If you do make the mistake of putting them in the actual dryer, what tends to happen is they shrink up and shrivel and get very, very small. But when you do wet them up again, they will expand typically accordingly. But here's the cloth. Basically, it's a like there's a slight texture to it, like a grippy texture, but it's basically this woven pattern with like a flat pattern on the other side. So it's like a straight line on one side, woven pattern. The woven side's got a little bit more grip versus this has a little bit more of abrasiveness. So I could see you using one side versus another for different circumstances, but a pretty thick consistency there, and generally will likely serve the purpose for as a paper towel or a replacement for a paper towel. But they've got blue, yellow, this light green, they've got this pinkish red color, and then more of a darker green, but those are the 5 separate colors. And all these are for basically $3.99, which is super affordable, super cheap. What I'll do is I'll just set up the camera and we'll test out using this at like cleaning my counter space just to kind of see a gist of how it performs. Okay, so I actually decided my stove was pretty gross, so we'll try these out on this. First off, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take one of these and soak it and get it wet, and then we'll wipe this down just with that, and then I'll use a separate one with the actual cleaning, like a household cleaning one, just to see how well it cleans with that. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you fully soak it. I didn't even wring this out, but it basically soaks up all the water. And when you wring it out, it'll wring out pretty easily. And then what we'll do is just wipe down the whole surface here with the water just to see how well this performs. But it works really, really well for just kind of general like wiping purposes. It does have like a texture to it, so it does kind of like give some abrasiveness there. I'll say that, yeah, what I anticipate is the one that's grooved like this, where there's just horizontal lines, it has a little bit less texture to it. And so it moves a little bit more freely with that, versus the woven side. This side actually has a little bit more grip to it, and so it's a little bit different from one side to the other, but did seem to wipe it down pretty well from that standpoint. And if you look, it was pretty gross, but there's not really any stains, like subtle stains here, but it's very absorbent, and you can basically just rinse this out and wring it out like that. So if you have a counter space, you could wipe it down real quick with this, and it's a replacement for a paper towel. The other thing you can do with this is, rather than using it to wipe down, you can actually dry a surface. So what we'll do is we'll just use this yellow one or greenish one, and you can basically just use it like a paper towel to basically just what's it called, like dry the surface down. So there's still like oil on the surface, but it is dry pretty much. Just like some residual oil from like cooking sprays and stuff like that. But what I'll do now is I'll try this with a household cleaner. Okay, so we're just using my general like cleaning spray from Grove for this. Sometimes I clean the surface with other stuff, but this gives you a good example of how well these work as like a general like paper towel or alternative. So really it does clean very, very well from that standpoint as far as like wiping down the surface. Stove looks way better. There's some areas I could focus on, but that gives you a sense. And like there's a little bit of debris there, but with the cleaning spray it worked very, very well as far as cleaning. So I'll say that these Trader Joe's ones are pretty good. I've got alternative ones. I think these are from Ecology. I've had this one for a while, and this one's like, this is what I mean by when you put it in the dryer, it'll like shrink down. This one's shriveled up. It was probably about like double that size when I first started. But when you rinse it, like wet it, it'll expand a little bit. But do avoid drying these because it does shrink. But that, like in general, they work very, very well. They are better for the environment. They're more reusable. You can just throw them into your laundry, rinse them off and clean them off that way. And it's definitely better than using paper towels, much less wasteful. So that's all I have for this video. Hopefully it's helpful for those of you that are looking at this at Trader Joe's. I would definitely recommend this for anybody. There's more expensive ones on the market, but what I'll do is I'll just use these over time, see how well they hold up and kind of how well they last, and circle back if I run into any issues. So thanks for watching and have a great night.